We'll have to get some more on that. A question: where does Mr. Chapman see the gold shares trading next year, or would he care to answer?
Well, first of all, they'll be higher. That's simple. How high? It's hard to say. We got the government interfering in the market all the time. Every time you get a gold run, they short the shares, hoping that people will think that the shares aren't performing very well, so gold's going to probably come back down again. And so let's not buy gold and let's not buy shares. That's what they're up to. They're rigging the market every single day. Now, historically, since 1978, that's 30 years, the average gold stock has gone up 40 times what bullion has. Now, if bullion went from 500 to 1,000, the shares would have went to 50,000. And back in 78 to 80, stocks went from 35 cents to $55. In 1929, home stake was $30 a share. In 1936, it was $636 a share. Even if gold and silver shares only outperformed the metal by 5 to 1, you would make an enormous fortune. People who have been with me since the year 2000 were buying stocks at $4 that have traded as high as 83.5, just in that period of time. And we're only in the second of 4 phases of a gold-silver bull market. There's going to be enormous amounts of money made.
Betty from Southern California comes in and says, Mr. Chapman, what is all of this hoopla with Warren Buffett buying a railroad? And that's all I've been hearing here in Southern California on the news. Buffett invests $34 billion in the railroad. To me, that looks like a safe bet for anybody.
Well, somebody stole his Lionel train set, so he got mad and bought a whole railroad. No, I don't know what he's doing. Maybe he figures there'll be a lot of business from the federal government taking people to internment camps. I think it's the wrong thing at the wrong time. If he was going to be a buyer, he should have waited, because the value of everything's going down. He paid $100 a share. Maybe he could buy the same stock 3 years from now for $15 a share. Warren Buffett is not as smart as people think he is. He gets inside information.
Maybe we'll be buying it from him for $15 a share.
Could be. And we'll call it the Drew Rains Railroad to Paradise.
I heard that. Oh, wow. I got a question. Mr. Chairman, Fannie Mae is suspending their foreclosing on homes, and instead are going to the owners and advising them that they are leasing the house to them as a rent for 80 cents on the dollar instead of them making a full payment. Do you think that's a good idea?
I certainly do. We don't want Americans on the street. We don't want to have them living under bridges. They don't deserve that. And so that's something I wish I didn't have to agree with it, but I do. People are more important than socialism or fascism or anything else. And I want to see people stay in their homes. Maybe some of them don't deserve it, but the majority do. And that they should have done that instead of bailing the banks out. The rich get bailed out, and the public gets a shaft. It's the first time that Washington's done anything to help people. I mean, in Detroit, you can walk for miles and not see an inhabitant in a house. I mean, what kind of craziness is that?
Well, one of those things. Mr. Chapman, cash for clunkers. You made it the call 2 or 3 months ago that it was a bad idea. Now the rest of the market is coming out saying it's a bad idea. How do you feel being vindicated?
Well, it happens all the time, and I wish they were as adept as I seem to be, and it's just a bad idea, especially throwing cars away and destroying them. There's people that don't have cars. I mean, give me a break. And they're doing the same thing in Europe, and they're still doing it. They're crazy. I mean, what's going to happen? The taxpayer pays for it. Who's the taxpayer? Your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren, your great-great-grandchildren, and on and on. We are hanging this horrible millstone around the neck of every child being born in America today. That is terrible. What a legacy. It's awful.
It is. Mr. Chapman, do you have any recommendations for people that don't have a lot of extra money and what kind of a coin or investment that they can put their money in to possibly have something of value?
Well, I think you can buy what they call 1/5 and 1/4 ounce coins. You pay a little bit more for them because of their small denomination. But it's a way you can get in between $230 and $300 a gold coin. They're circulated. They're just a plain gold coin. There's French roosters, German marks, Swiss francs, Uruguayan pesos, the U.S. printed fractional pieces of what they're called, and they printed ½ ounce, quarter ounce, and I think they even printed 10th ounces. I can't remember. I bought a whole bunch of them for my daughter and gave them to her, so she's got them all, so I can't remember. But that's the best place to start. You can get involved for $250.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. I agree 100%.
Or you can buy junk silver, which is 90% silver. And you can buy that for $200 or $300, $400. And so look into that. That's a way you can start.
And moving back over to the Asian, I've got a Marine here in Southeast Asia. He says the Asian markets over here is going up and down like a roller coaster. What's causing all of this upheaval down here for the market to go up one day, down the next, and when the week's over with, it's down for the week?
Well, the Chinese are to blame for that more than anybody, because they just spent $1.8 trillion in stimulus in their economy since February, and they rammed it all in at the same time. Now, that's their business, but what's happened is most of the money didn't go into infrastructure. It went into speculation in the stock market and the property market. And so now they're coming down, and they'll come down a lot more, and that's the most powerful nation in Asia today. So Japan follows, and then Malaysia and Singapore and so on and so forth. And so you can expect lower prices as time goes on. Nobody is going to get out of this unscathed. Everybody is going to have pain. It's going to go on for years. Some will have more pain than others. On a scale of 10, the pain will be about 3 for the United Kingdom and 3 for the United States. Canada will probably be a 6 or 7. The same with Australia and Norway in that same area. And on and on and on. China will probably be a 5. And they're not going to get away with it. They got 30 million people unemployed. We get a deflationary depression in the United States, they'll have 60 million unemployed. And they will no longer have a communist government because it will be overthrown.
Mr. Chapman, I've got a couple of reports here telling me that gold could possibly go to $5,000 because of the Fed printing presses have just gone all wild. Do you see Obama doing anything that's going to help the economy, or is he just the play pretty for the super rich?
He's a puppet for the super rich. I'm projecting $6,700 an ounce. John Williams, one of the eminent economists in our economy, who I greatly respect, and he's better at it than I am, 7,150. And so that's what you got to shoot at, kids. That's a lot of money. And so get out there and buy those gold and silver coins and shares and save your hide. And if you got moms and dads and grannies and grandpas, get them in there too, because this is going to be the only way to protect yourself.